I had a fetishization of alcohol. It was just like, this is where happiness is. Ergo, I need to get into this drinking thing. I did well at school. I was good at maths. I could write. I wasn't very good at French, but who cares?
Yeah.
We voted Brexit for a reason. I think the other thing that really led me to be a comedian, taking the piss was prized above all else in my house.
Fantastic.
Because we ate tofu in the 90s. We were ahead of the curve, which you don't want to be when you're a kid. You want to be the curve.
Today's class clown is one of the biggest comedians in the country. You know him from The Last Leg and the biggest podcast going, of course, that is Parenting Hell. And he's just released his brand new podcast, The Museum of Pop Culture, sure to be another hit. I'm, of course, talking about the fantastic Josh Widdicombe. Now, I've known Josh many years. We go way back. I love this guy, and I absolutely loved this episode. I think you're thoroughly going to enjoy it. It's Josh Widdicombe. Well, look, thank you for coming in.
Pleasure.
I know you do a lot of podcasting.
No, that's all right. I think it's the future. And arguably the present.
It is the present.
It is definitely the present.
So I suppose we just start where we always start, which is the beginning. And where are you from?
So I was born in London. And
Where?
then I should be a QPR fan, actually, in reference to your hat.
Yes.
I was born in Hammersmith, in Charing Cross Hospital in Hammersmith.
Do you know why Charing Cross Hospital is in Hammersmith?
No.
Right, no, sorry, I did say that as if I knew, didn't I? I did. I was just trying to get some general knowledge.
No, I don't.
Well, I don't know.
But I do know that when I was about 23, 24, I was doing some work experience at a magazine round the corner.
Yeah.
And we played five-a-side football at lunch. And I played to show willing, because you've got to,
Absolutely.
And then I saved a hard shot and broke my wrist. And I went to Charing Cross, I got taken to Charing Cross Hospital, and they asked for my name. I said, Josh Widdicombe, and they said, oh, we've got you listed here as a baby.
Oh, yeah, at one point.
Yeah. that you've got to imagine that's going to change. But I don't remember London.
Sorry, by the way, I also ended up at Charing Cross Hospital because of five-a-side.
Did you?
Yeah. A strange coincidence.
What happened to you?
I was playing with our friend Henry Packer.
Oh, yeah.
And my knee popped.
Oh, my
And
word.
I was agony and we
word.
went to Charing Cross
What was wrong with it?
Hospital. I don't know. It made I heard it, and then I was in agony, and then I was in the hospital.
You don't need that in your life.
You don't need that in your life. So you don't remember London?
No, because we moved when I was 6 months to Bristol, which I have very few memories of because I moved when I was 3.5.
What, out of interest, what are those memories?
I remember we had a grey carpet in the living room, and I remember pushing cars around that carpet. Core memories.
Grey carpet.
And I thought this
Don't forget this.
I said either this carpet goes or I do, and then I moved. Isn't that that's a famous? Someone else's joke. I can't remember.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. But like Oscar Wilde, I think that is. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know if I know anything else from that. I think I have a put-in memory of being stung by a bee in a sandpit, which happened to me there. It was buried under the thing, and I put my hand in. But I've come to believe, for some reason, that I think that's a family story that I've then made into a memory.
But was the family... Hang on.
That's real. It happened.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think I've heard it enough times that I think that's a memory, but it's not.
That it's become a memory. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Interesting. So you leave Bristol with that. You leave Bristol with being stung by a
wasp. And we lived in a really...
carpet.
I mean, it's sad because I kind of wish I could trade on this more. We lived in a really rough area of Bristol, and I didn't realise this until I was reading Tricky's autobiography. Tricky being the rapper.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
He's like part of the kind of Portishead Massive Attack trip hop thing. Right,
okay.
Yeah. very, very bad circumstances. And then I was like, that's where I lived, Tottertown.
Right.
So I think it was a rough area.
So that's how you found out. Hang on. Maybe I'm a bit of a rude boy as well. Maybe I'm slightly ghetto.
If I'd stayed there, maybe I'd have been in massive attack.
Yeah.
But the truth is then, we moved to Devon, and my gran, who lived in Ealing, she moved down to Devon because my granddad died when I was about 6 months old. And so she sold up, moved to Devon with us, so to be with kind of her grandson and her daughter, son-in-law. And so she had half the house and we had half the house.
Oh, right. Okay, so you shared the house.
Yeah.
And how did Devon... So that's where the kind of memory, your childhood, you start remembering.
Yeah, so
it.
I think the thing with Devon is, obviously it's a weird place to grow up, you realise afterwards. Not weird, but different. Not many people grow up on Dartmoor.
Well, yeah.
So, but obviously
so
at the time...
how was it different then?
Well...
To whoever you're... to whatever it's different to.
Yeah. So I went to a tiny primary school. I'm sure you're aware of this.
I do know that, yeah.
Yeah, so there's 4 kids in my year.
Oh my God, I didn't know. 4 of you?
Yeah.
You still in contact?
We've got a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Because they brought them out as my guest thing on Would I Lie to You?
I see. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was 3 other kids in my year at primary school. So we weren't taught as a 4, we were taught. And now I've got kids in school, I go, I don't even know the practicalities of that. The school was 45 kids or whatever it was. And it was just split into infants and juniors. So you were taught years 3, 4, 5, 6 were all in the same class. So I don't know how you pitch that lesson.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
To a 7 and an 11-year-old.
Well, then, you must have you must have an opinion on what the effects of that are. Then, what the benefits or the problem with that?
I think it's a really good thing in that it. And when we were in London, we've just left London.
Yeah.
My daughter was at a really small school. She had like 11 in her class, which is 3 times the size of mine. But like,
yeah.
But I think, if you've got a small class or a small school, the advantage is you know everyone. And the advantage actually is, strangely, counterintuitively, you're friends with more kinds of different people because you're friends with everyone. Whereas in a bigger school, you stick to your own. You find the people that are like you.
Yes. Yeah.
But in a small school, everyone's friends with everyone. So, or at least... plays with everyone.
Yes.
So you're less like, oh, these are the kids that like football.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's fascinating. So do you think that that's had an impact on you going into comedy in any way? Just being able to... Because obviously what you do would be is described as observational comedy, and part of the... part of...
It's quite a disparaging way to say it. It's described by some people as observational comedy.
Well, no, I don't mean it like that at all, because I think you do what you do and then someone else puts it in a kind of bracket, so I don't mean it like that at all.
Yeah.
I find someone comes up to me and they call me an observational comedy, and then they go, I thought of something. Have you ever noticed? And they tell me something like, oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I would never say that. So I almost kind of don't like to say what other people do. It's like you've got your version of what you do.
Yeah.
Do you call it observational comedy?
I think I would.
So you have to kind of describe it on a radio show, and they go, okay, so what is it you do? You would go, I do observational comedy.
I'd say observations about the minutiae of everyday life.
Yeah.
I often I think probably because it's easier to say what you're not than what you are. I'd say I don't do anything about the news. Yeah. You won't learn anything about yourself. I don't deal in any deep issues.
I'm not an edgelord. Shock.
Yeah, shock.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, give it 10 years. But
yes,
we've seen how people can change.
Josh Widdicombe's 10 p.m. GB News show.
Yeah, the money's right. And I don't know, it doesn't sound like it is. Judging by who they book, it's not.
So But what comes with that kind of label of observational comedy is, of course, it means that it's chucked up so that as many people as possible can kind of identify with it. Is that in any way linked to getting on with...
No, I think what it is linked to from my childhood is literally the word observe, right?
Yeah.
I think it's linked to going to secondary school where there was 1,000 kids, right?
Yeah.
Which is normal, but actually in that context, I imagine there was 1,000 kids at your secondary school.
Right, yes, sure.
Yeah. And then disappearing, it almost, not intentionally, but like, I just wasn't a thing at secondary school. Like,
Yes.
I dealt with the change, I think, by going, okay, what do I do here? None of this is conscious,
Of
obviously.
course not.
Yeah.
I understand
What do I
that,
do here to protect myself? And what I do, you know the cliche of the comedian, and I don't know whether you fall into this. I was the bullied guy, and then one day I made a joke, and everyone laughed. Suddenly, the boys wanted to be my friend, the girls wanted to be my girlfriend, and I knew who I was. That didn't happen.
Oh, right, that didn't happen. No, it didn't happen for me either. That wasn't.
I think it's total.
I thought you were saying that was going to.
No, that didn't happen. What happened was I just disappeared. I was the pointless answer to the year. You know, like.
Well, do you know what I thought? That's yeah. I thought what you were going to say was, and this might fall. You know, this might fall under that. Is that you go on the outside? On the kind of
exactly. So I observed the whole thing. I sometimes wonder if that is part of it. You're constantly right. So this is how it works. This is how people act.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I've probably said this before, but I think you'll find it interesting. I was working with Henry Normal.
Yeah.
Some years ago.
Yeah.
You know, co-creator of the Royal Family. And
Baby Cow.
Baby Cow. So producer Partridge and we were at the office, and I think Glastonbury was on television. It was on a television, and he pointed at the aerial shot, this bird's eye view, the helicopter shot of the 100,000 people or whatever it is at the pyramid stage. And he pointed around the edge of the crowd, and he went, "That'll be where all the comedians are." And it was brilliant, and it's always where I am. I always kind of get on the outside and don't want to go in.
Yeah.
And I thought that, I always think of that, always kind of sums it up to me. And alcohol, and I know you don't drink anymore, but what alcohol kind of allowed me to do was go into the crowd and be comfortable with it and get in. Because that's what I kind of wanted. You know, you want to have a drink and you want to fit in with people. And then when alcohol was removed from my life, I went back to the outside and go, no, do you know what? This is where I am.
Yeah, totally, Sean. That is exactly right. Because if I was in the crowd and I wasn't drinking, i.e. until I was, you know, a bit at sixth form, but then really when I got to uni, I was drinking.
Yes, yeah.
I was thinking, where are my arms? What am I doing?
Where are my arms? Exactly what I used to think if I didn't have a fag. Where are my arms?
What?
What are they doing?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Both in the pocket? Is that mad?
Yeah.
Do you know when I see it now? Whenever I see someone who's got their thumbs in their belt loops.
Yeah.
Or their thumbs in their pockets.
Yeah.
I often think, you poor fucker. Yeah. I've been there.
Do you know when I get conscious of it? Is when you're meeting someone, and because now the way society is today, you get to avoid a lot of those kind of social awkward moments where you're thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
But the one time you have to have your face up from your phone is if you're suddenly looking for someone. So you're meeting someone, and they're saying, I'm like 30 seconds away. So now you've got to look for them.
Yeah.
But now it's keep going like, how do I looking for someone? Is this too much? Am I too obviously?
Yeah.
Do I now look like, and I start thinking, do I now look like someone has no-showed?
Yeah,
Maybe I'm looking
yeah.
like someone's no-showed. I don't want to look like someone's no-showed, but I do need to look.
It's so, but that's being right. So that is the skill of observational comedy, right?
Yeah.
Is noticing human behaviour.
I'm just so good at it, by the way. I mean, you don't get to, and everyone knows that, and everyone watching and listening will know that. But I just want to say that because
I mean, not to be, but I think you're of my generation because you got McIntyre there. Let's be honest.
We all have to.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Roll at his
But you're
feet.
the prince.
Well, that's lovely, but
I think. Do you know why I like observational comedy?
Go on, I don't.
And it's a dirty word, observational comedy.
That's what I think it is. Yeah.
I think it is, and I think the only
it's
reason
frowned upon, isn't it?
Yeah, the only reason Seinfeld's allowed to get away with it is because his sitcom was done with Larry David, so it was cool.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people in The Guardian wouldn't be saying Jerry Seinfeld's incredible. They'd be saying he's basically doing what McIntyre's doing.
Yes, absolutely.
He's just not as energetic.
Yeah, and I think probably not having the energy behind it kind of it gives Seinfeld a kind of a seriousness.
Yeah.
That Michael kind of leaves at the door.
And I'd say, let's leave the seriousness. It's comedy. But I think, right, I've never been into jokes. Yeah, like, you know, when someone would tell me a joke, if someone tells me a joke, I just think, oh, fuck. Oh, no. Just, now you've started it, and now this awful wait for the bit when I've got to find out, like, and I'm not sure, is it not going to be funny, or worse, am I not going to realise you've even hit the punchline?
This is the comedian being told a joke, and what the comedian's going is just, oh God, no.
Yeah, not a fucking
I can't
joke.
face this, please, no.
Oh no, someone's got out the Christmas crackers.
And I'm thinking, like, I hope maybe he'll give me some sort of intonation that will let me know that that's the punchline.
Yeah. And there are comedians that love jokes, obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
And there are some I love. So Harry Hill or Tim Vine are just incredible.
Oh, fantastic. My friend Mark Simmons. I have friend
Mark Simmons is great. Yeah. But I don't like jokes. And if I have a joke in my set, what you would deem a joke.
Yes.
A joke where if I said it to you now, it wouldn't feel mental.
Yeah.
Where if you said, tell me a joke, and I cringe a bit.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Well,
and people would say,
sense.
I mean, people would say, well, there isn't any jokes in it. But people would say, like, what I mean by that is like a set-up punchline.
Of course,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's not. It will be a pun, or it will be a pull back and reveal.
Yeah.
There's a certain mechanic.
I heard Frank Skinner say something really good because I do like doing puns off the cuff.
Right. Yeah.
So, say there's a pun available today.
I feel like Alan Partridge, whatever you want to say. Well, that's sort of wordplay. Yeah. A bit more like wordplay. There's a difference between pun and wordplay.
Is there?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
So if there's an opportunity for a pun in the next hour, I'll take it. I'm just telling you that. But I heard Frank Skinner say a thing that was so accurate to me, where he said, audiences let you get away with puns if they're off the cuff. But the moment they feel like it's written into your set, it feels like the whole routine has been built around you getting to say that pun.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Of course I do. I mean, yeah, but yes.
But I love observational comedy. Yeah. And what I like about it is the thought of the routine that jogs you every time you experience that thing. So we've all got them. Like, you know, it's like that So I'll give you a bit of your one where it's like you had a thing. I don't know how much you used this, but I even remember seeing you do it at a preview about being sat at a restaurant next to the menu that's on the window. And people basically looking at the menu right by your table.
Yes,
I think about that every time I look at a menu outside a restaurant. I think about that, and I love that because that feels like a song that's stuck in your head.
Oh, that's a wonderful way of putting it. Yeah,
I love that idea.
Yes, it's so funny you say that because as I mentioned to you before we came into this room, I just watched. I thought I'll just watch your stand-up because I just hadn't seen it in a while. And you do this fantastic bit about parks shutting at dusk.
Yeah.
And I have been locked in a park.
Have you?
I have been locked in a park.
Of course you have.
Yeah,
of course.
At dusk.
So on brand.
And I thought I know every time I go to that park, I think of when I got locked in the park. But now. Yeah. Every time I take my dog to the park, I will be thinking of you.
Well, that's the curse and the best bit about observational comedy, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I think it comes from. Maybe in childhood, I was always an observer. I was always sat back. I was always watching, a voyeur.
Yeah.
And that is found in the fact that I watched insane amounts of television.
Yes.
Because my parents would let me do what I wanted. And it paid off. Well, because knowing loads and loads about television, I think, I watched every comedy thing that was on that I could find.
Amazing.
And so I watched every comedy thing in the 90s. And so you just learn it and you absorb it.
Yes.
And so that created that.
Especially at that age.
No one is into anything as much as they are as a teenager.
No. That's it. There's so much to kind of, I want to drill into there. Like a question that I think that I think about when listening to you talk about observing is, we kind of know why you're there on the outside looking in and observing the world and other pupils and people your age. When do you almost spot that there's something funny about that? When you start laughing at what you're looking at, do you know?
I don't think I had any idea that I would want to be a comedian.
Right, okay, yeah.
At all. I actually think I'm about to say something that I do reel off quite often, but I think you probably are one of the few people, I would say, who doesn't fall under this.
Okay.
I'd say you and Rob Beckett and Michael McIntyre are possibly the only three I can think of.
The three greats.
The three greats. It's that I think every comedian I know wanted to be a musician and couldn't be, so had to become a comedian.
Okay. Yeah. That's quite a common thought, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that's definitely true. I think Ramesh would much rather be doing hip hop.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Acaster wanted to be in a band.
Right.
I would have been in a band 100%. Just go through your closest friends. I think they would have wanted to be in bands, probably.
Yes.
Or that's certainly how it feels to me. Not every single one, but certainly a very high percentage.
Yeah.
And obviously footballer, but then everyone wants to be a footballer.
Yes, absolutely.
That doesn't really count.
No. Right, so you wanted to be, there was a part
Not
of you...
Not actively, but I think that would be far more the dream I had when I was daydreaming.
The fantasy.
The fantasy.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
100%. And I still would.
Yeah.
I would...
Hey, man, it's never too late.
Let's get a couple of guitars and jam this thing out.
There's the outro.
Yeah, we're in Spotify, mate.
Okay. Yes. So, you're on the outside. You're watching the world kind of pass you by, and then you have the television. You've got the freedom. And that I was kind of hooked by that word, freedom. So your parents let you do what you want.
So my dad's an old hippie.
Right.
So my dad was born in 1950.
Okay.
So he was literally 13 when the Beatles released their own first single, and 20 when they split up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's dream time, right?
Yes.
Or 12 or whatever. But I mean,
it's bullseye, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bullseye.
The iron is so hot.
He went to the first Glastonbury. He saw listen to this sentence, Jimi Hendrix at Aylesbury Town Hall.
Wow.
He went to the Rolling Stones concert in Hyde Park when Brian Jones had just died, and they released loads of butterflies. Like he went to the first Isle of Wight, all of that.
Wow. Okay.
So he's an old hippie, not still, but we.
By the way, I don't know what I wouldn't have guessed. I wouldn't have guessed that. I don't think. I didn't have an idea.
I think you'd think I came from a kind of. Because I think
if you had said he was a headmaster.
Yeah. Because I think there's certain things which you'd think which are that I'm quite studious.
Mm-hmm.
That I think a lot of my stuff is like quaintly British and suburban, maybe.
Yeah,
like in references and kind of
I wouldn't
like
use suburban, but yeah,
maybe suburban's wrong. But like, you know, it's kind of middle class British references and stuff about, you know, I don't know, you know, narrowboats or the weighing machines you get at train stations,
but certainly, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, or amusement arcades,
yes,
or like it's like,
but also your phrasing. It's very, that's when you said about it being kind of quintessentially British. Just because it's so fresh in my mind, I'm so glad I watched it. You know, we all know what you do, and I'm a fan. But just the phrasing is my favourite element of what you do. Actually, you observe these.
But I would I'm not thinking about that.
But it comes so naturally to you.
But because that's how I talk. So I'm not saying I just come up with it. You write it down, but all the phrasing, I just write down a word. I would never be like writing it like syllable by syllable.
Right. I'm very surprised by that because it's just so well done. It comes so naturally to you.
But that's because you've done it enough times that you get it said in the right way.
Do you remember this routine? I don't know how many shows I'm going back. You're talking about Cocoa Pops. Even if he's on one pop a day.
But yeah, I'd have written that down, but I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have been like, okay, one Cocoa Pop a day, or one pop a day, or one grain a day. None of that's going on.
Do you know what I had assumed? Because I knew you had some sort of background in journalism.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
You wouldn't even retrospectively go, maybe. You're going, absolutely no, that's not.
What do you mean retrospectively?
Well, just look if I put it to you, you could go, well, actually, possibly where I perhaps got a kind of natural feel for phrasing would perhaps be.
I don't think that would make, if I was to do any of that, I mean, people might disagree. I don't think that would make me funnier, because I think what's funny is that I'm saying it how I would say it, and that's the funniest way to say it. If I was to sharpen it, it would lose me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know that thing about, is it a apocryphal story, is it real? I don't know. About Dustin Hoffman and Laurence Olivier.
Yeah, I know this story, yeah. I mean, it's gone around so much that you have to assume that this is real.
Yeah, and so Dustin Hoffman, has he been for a run or something before a scene because he wants to be knackered? Right? Because he's a method actor. And Laurence Olivier says, "My dear, it's called acting." Or, no, I think it's, "My dear, have you tried acting?"
So condescending.
Yeah.
I love it. Yes.
But whenever I hear people talking about the technicalities of joke writing,
yes,
I always think of that. I always think of, "My dear, have you tried being funny?"
I don't. I don't want to know. I don't want to name drop because I can't.
But do you know what I mean?
No. Because that works for some people. That works for
that works for them. But for me, I can't do it like that.
Fine.
And I actually think the more people you speak to, everyone just does it really differently.
Yes, absolutely.
And I actually think a bit like with parenting. You know when people say, do you know what I tried with my child to get them to sleep? And you go, it's a different fucking child. The moment
that is brilliant.
The moment anyone gives you a tip on how to write stand-up, I just think, I can't.
That question is so boring.
Yeah.
How do you write? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You're not going to be able to do it the way I do it, and I'm not going to be able to do it the way you do it.
I don't think about how I write. Surely everyone just does it. I don't. I do write. I sit down, I write down ideas, but I have never gone, what would be a better method to do that? I just write it, and I write the bits off it. I do a spider diagram. I come with that. That's just how that's just the way it works. So that is how it works.
Yeah, right. Point taken.
Yeah, sorry.
Absolutely. No.
Too much of a digression.
No. That's it. That's exactly it. That's fascinating. And do you think your dad's kind of freedom and the freedom that he gave you,
and my mum, to be fair,
the two of them?
Yeah.
What did she do? Was she kind of hippie as well, or
like they were both kind of left-leaning hippies? We ate tofu in the 90s.
What? I didn't know they'd invented that.
Exactly, yeah. So we were eating tofu. We were eating organic in the 90s.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And so we were ahead of the curve, which you don't want to be when you're a kid. You want to be the curve.
Yeah. That's absolutely spot on. Yes.
And so you.
But when you say they let me do what I want, what do you mean? Because your example was just watching telly.
No pressure to do well at school. No pressure to get a proper career, so to speak.
Yeah.
They would, in fact, their view of the phrase "a proper career" would be, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's very helpful.
Really helpful.
I think hearing, as both parents now, it's really comforting to hear that.
I just think you have to, because my view on a kid, right, is that what they're into is what they're into, and you have to meet them there, rather than try and put what you think they should be into.
Yes.
And you get this with, like, people trying to play their music to kids, or people trying to...
I'll probably cut this bit out.
No, we've all done it. But do you know what? It's much more rewarding to go, I took my daughter to see Taylor Swift because she wanted to go to Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think it's the same with school. I did well at school. Like, the truth of me at school... And this sounds, but I wasn't the best, but I was in the top groups, but I was like, I was Europa League.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But I found it easy. It was never a problem for me. I was good at maths. I could write. I wasn't very good at French, but who cares?
Yeah.
We voted Brexit for a reason.
You've been going on the marches.
I said I won't need this in 17 years, so teach me how to hang a flag on a lamppost. No, but like
but were you, so that I'm going to assume then that
I coasted. Academically, I just coasted as quite good the whole way. And I was happy with that.
That's quite good in the top sets, but
I was like the worst one in the top set or the best one in the second set.
Yeah. But you weren't causing distraction in the class. We couldn't with four. I mean,
but even at secondary school.
Yeah,
primary school. Just to be clear, at primary school it wasn't set. There wasn't two and two.
Imagine that. Right.
This is how well behaved I was. I remember in primary school, when you're like, well, it's interesting that I remember this because it's obviously some kind of core memory. Can I just give you a couple more details about how quaint my primary school was?
I would love that.
We didn't have any means of cooking the school lunches, right?
Okay.
So when we answered the register, rather than saying here or good morning or whatever they say, we'd say either packed or dinners, depending on how many packed or dinners we are. And then one kid would be tasked with counting how many people said dinners, writing it down, that's the amount of people who wanted school dinner. And then this kid would go and phone the next school who had a kitchen and ask for that many school dinners to be sent over for lunch.
Yeah.
Also, we had a secretary at the school who had was in 3 days a week. And on the other 2 days, the kids would answer the phone.
Did you ever answer the phone?
Yeah, I must have. I mean, I don't...
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So were you behaved?
So I was so well behaved that when...
That's probably come from... I mean, it seems like it's in your
feels,
nature anyway, but for, it's...
Well,
four of you.
I
if
wonder,
you start misbehaving, that's a quarter of the class gone.
They're lost. Well, I wonder whether... Pete Doherty's dad is a sergeant major or whatever he is.
Yeah.
I wonder whether there's the opposite in effect. In that if your house is free and easy and not chaotic, but not regimented,
relaxed,
yeah, then maybe you seek order and you seek comfort in. Do you know what I mean?
I want to say laissez-faire because I like saying it. More laissez-faire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, okay, so you think that actually because of that, yes, you were looking for something a bit more regimented?
I don't know. I mean,
possibly.
These are all things where you're like, are you just putting this on after because it makes a pleasing pattern?
Of course.
Yeah. So
I suppose that's what this is it's trying to find that, the idea for this, I suppose, is trying to find that pattern that created the adult, the person that you are today, and the comedian.
Yeah, totally.
And finding, well, that probably was significant in that.
Totally, yeah. So at school, I'll just quickly say this, and then I'll say another thing that I think really led to comedy, or where I was.
Yeah.
Was there was a dinner hall, and there was tables this shape, where you'd have 6 kids around, bigger.
Big hexagon tables.
Big hexagon tables, and there'd be however many that is, 8 of those.
Yeah.
And then a few more people came to the school and they had to have a hexagon table in another room because there wasn't room in the hall. Okay. And that would be away from everyone else. But you were away from your friends, but you didn't have any teacher in there or dinner lady.
Ah.
And I got put on that. And I was like, what? And they were like, because we can trust you to behave. Because we're basically putting 4 kids in this room. And I'm like, this is a fucking punishment for being well behaved. This is not fair. Everyone else is in the hall, and I'm in nerd squad in the next room.
Yeah.
But that's.
Yeah, do you think it's a bit unfair putting Josh in there just because he's well behaved? Well, what's he going to do? He's a nerd. He's not going to say anything. Just chuck him in there.
Yeah.
Right. Did that have any significance on you? Did you feel did you feel like that, what you just said there then? Did you feel that then?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think the significance is, why do I remember that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How many memories have you got from primary school? Specific memories? 10? How is that one of them?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
It's so weird, those memories, because obviously a lot of memories that you carry through are shame, because that's what cuts through more than anything, isn't it? Do you not think?
Well, do you know what? I mean, we're talking about you.
Difficult to narrow it down with you.
There's only so much time. People only have so much battery on their phones. Sean's going to start on a shameless. Well, hang on, I've only got 97% left of my phone. I mean, look, shame. Yes,
that's what I presume is the driver. That's the driver of so many humans, isn't it? The avoidance of shame, and then the awful feeling of shame.
Was that one of them? It doesn't fit particularly.
No, I don't. No, that's why I'm saying it's surprising that that's cut through.
Yes. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. And was on it? Any shame from school?
Not really. Not like where I go, that was. But often what I mean is often when you remember something from school, you go, oh yeah, I think that's probably a moment of shame.
It comes,
but
with
they're not.
Yes.
They're not ones you can get. You go, these are the 4 shaming moments of my school. But when you remember things from school,
that's a podcast.
Yeah.
4 brilliant shames.
Yeah. Oh, God. But I think the other thing that really led me to be a comedian is that for my parents was that taking the piss, and this comes from my gran as much as my parents, taking the piss was prized above all else in my house.
Fantastic.
Not of each other, but of the outside world. So
that's really interesting.
Yeah. So there'd be no respect for anyone who you'd think there'd be respect for on television, or there'd be no respect for the woman that ran the post office.
Yeah.
There'd be no respect for, my gran was a huge influence on me. She was a retired actor.
So there is some kind of performance there in the blood, you would say.
Yeah.
I always think that, I do personally, by the way, I think that counts for something. There's a strand of performer in you.
Yeah, and I think maybe also she adds to, I think, the television I watched, and her stories of living in London, television in the 90s, for instance, particularly something like TFI Friday, or even the Brit Awards, where you'd see these, they led to two things that I had a fetishization of alcohol.
Right.
Totally thought that was just the most incredible. In the 90s, it was just like...
Can you imagine?
It was just like, this is where happiness is.
I mean, these people making a TV show, they've not been to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone in the audience is in a bar pissed. And their lives are infinitely more exciting than mine. Ergo, I need to get into this drinking thing. And like my gran had loads of stories about getting pissed with people and like amazing like life in London and stuff. So I think the whole thing was probably hugely fetishized to me.
Yeah.
And then
when you say getting drunk with people, do you mean because she was acting, she would meet people in the world of showbiz?
She'd always have views on people on TV and be like, he's always negative. But funny. And that's the thing. So there's a disrespect for traditional or authority television figures.
Yes.
Or the government.
Yes.
Like, which would have been John Major at the time, then Tony Blair, which they would have been more respectful for. But like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
So I think she was an incredible person. All of her friends were much younger than her. She'd smoke silk cut and she'd drink black coffee from her mugs all had she'd bought them at a shop. You know when you get the nut mugs with your name on it?
Yes.
She'd gone into a shop where they just had the shit names left and bought all of them.
That is so much like something you would do. Yeah,
so she'd go in and she'd like, do you want yours in Neville or Tessa? We had Craig. Craig was one of them. So she had all these mugs with the shit names. She had a ashtray which was stolen from the ABC cafe in Ealing, which was like a kind of greasy spoon, I suppose. Yeah. And she had she had a picture of Ian McShane, Lovejoy.
Yeah.
She had a picture of her with Ian McShane at a party.
This is what I mean.
Yeah, where it looks like she's shouting at him. She didn't like him. And they'd written on it, below it, a caption which said, "I've shouted at more film stars than you've had hot dinners."
It's like it gave you training for Mock the Week.
Yeah. But totally, she was just fun.
Fantastic, yeah.
It was a different world. So her half of the house was like a different world to the rest of Devon.
Yes. Yeah, understood.
And my parents' house was a different world to the rest of Devon as well. We wouldn't, do you know what I mean? There were two kind of...
And that's interesting, isn't it, as well, that outside of thing.
Yeah.
You've gone to Devon, but you've got, just by the fact that you've gone somewhere, even at a young age, you're then immediately the outsider. Your nan's not from there.
No.
Your parents aren't from there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she was a huge influence on me. I found a letter she sent me when I was at uni. I was going through some old stuff. There was a letter and it was a cheque. That wasn't still there. And a picture of Alan Titchmarsh, covered in flowers, a bit like the kind of, like for Radio Times, I think it must have been the time of American Beauty. It was almost a bit of a take on that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
And she'd cut that out and stuck it on a piece of card, and I turned it over and it just had "What a twat" written on it.
Oh my God! Right, yeah. Sorry, Alan, if you're watching.
Not your fault.
So that's the end of part 1, unfortunately. If you want to listen to part 2 immediately, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/classclown, where part 2 will be waiting for you there. You can just do that now. We've left a link in the bio. And again, it's fantastic talking to Josh. It just carries on in much the same vein. We talk a bit more about stand-up comedy itself. I think you'll absolutely love it. That's on patreon.com/classclown. Thanks for watching.